Hello and welcome back to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2024 PDGA Junior World Championships presented by Innova Discs. We're bringing you round 4 coverage of the MJ18 division presented by Gatekeeper Media. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dan Brooks Wells. How's it going, Dan?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here. Happy to see some of these young guns and what talent is coming up. Got a little bit of a hot one today, but these kids are starting to get used to it.
Yeah, that's summer in the Midwest, kind of inevitable. As we take a look at our lead card for round 4, we've got Ryan Monn leading the way. He has been shredding all tournament. Patrick Yu, Harrison Young, and Josiah Beachy are going to look to chase him down, as well as everybody else rounding out that top 10. We are over at Hakey Creek today. Let's take a look at hole 1.
Hakey Creek, hole 1, par 4. This is 635 feet. You are teeing off from out of bounds. If you do not come in bounds, you do have to go to a drop zone, but once you land in here, you have to get across this little creek and into this green. So this is really about the second shot and being able to, once you land in bounds, being able to hit that gap.
Yeah, we got Ryan Monn, 30 under par after 3 rounds out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. If you're wondering, yes, he is the younger brother of Jake Monn, who's currently touring on the Pro Tour. That's a nice tee shot there, a little overturned. Should be able to make that work.
It's pretty cool, a little bit of a disc golf family, right? Ryan gets to learn and see everything from his older brother, who is a great player as well. So you hear dominant backhand player, as we saw yesterday. This one is ripped.
Yeah, put a great move on this one. We will see. Oh, it is way down the fairway. In great position. Patrick Yu out of Madison, Wisconsin. Last year's runner-up. We mentioned it on coverage yesterday. Having a very solid tournament so far. A new face to the card, Harrison Young, 986 rated player out of Burlington, Kentucky. Oh, he puts a move on this disc as well.
Jeez. Just get down.
Oh, my God. That is smoked.
I mean, that makes the hole so much easier. Makes that gap so much wider.
And rounding out our lead card, Josiah Beachy, 982 rated out of Rosedale, Indiana. This needs to hold the ante before it fades out. It is going to. Nicely checks up on the left side of the fairway.
Seems like there's a lot of room over there to work with, as long as you're not really hyzering out early. And this is Ryan's forehand. Hits the gap, but doesn't skip all the way up. He'll have a difficult kind of uphill look at it.
Yeah, the difficulty on this hole coming more on that second shot. Rather than the tee shot without too much in the way, this one is a bit wide from you. It's going to get knocked down into that ditch as well. Kind of a tight window to access this green.
Yeah. Let's see if he can get something floaty over there. This is looking like a low-speed disc. Does catch the one telephone pole in the way and also kicks into the ditch. So we are 3 for 3 in the ditch right now.
Yeah, and this was a massive drive from Young. Just has a nice pitch up sidearm, comes out a bit low. And
man. The pit of despair.
Yeah, apparently.
It's like a black hole in there.
Sucking discs down into it. So a bunch of long birdie looks. Yu was going to be up first. Gives us a great run, actually. Pin high, just a bit off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a great effort from Beachy as well. Just catches some left side chains.
Yeah, some good runs. I mean, all these guys are close enough. There's no danger. And they're all just off just a little bit. First hole, right? I don't think the nerves might be there as much as they used to be, but always have a little something first hole.
Yeah, if you're not nervous on the first hole, then I don't think you care enough. That is a little low for Monn as well, so Just a par frame coming up for our feature card today. Hole 1 did play as the third hardest hole on the course at a 4.28 average. So not losing too many strokes with a par here. Although I'm sure after their drives, most of these guys would have liked to pick up a birdie.
It's always nice to start the day with a hole where you can just absolutely rip it to get your day started. Here we are at hole 2. This is a par 3, 360 feet. Moving left to right out the gap and having something hyzer hard back into this green for the right-hand backhand shot. So you can see there's this inside gap, and you can see there's kind of an outside. I would assume most of these guys are going to take the inside, being that it is wider. But when you do that, you have to put a little bit of flex on it.
Yeah, I kind of rely on the overstability of the disc to bring it back at the end. That is well thrown from Monn. Gets a little bit of a skip, so he'll have another long 50-footer or so.
And we saw it on the first hole. Patrick Yu can absolutely rip, so definitely reachable. He is, however, dealing with a pulled back muscle today, so we're just going to have to keep an eye out on him and see how that comes into play this round. That always is a tough thing, having to play a little injured.
Yeah, especially your back. It affects everything you do, so can't imagine what he's going through. This is a nice looking shot from Young if it gets through the inside, and does. Nice little bit of ground play to get him to circle's edge.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are going for that, that low ceiling spot just to get around these last trees. It seems like a wide open shot, but it's very specific at the end. You see these guys have a little bit of trouble navigating it. So here's everybody for their upshot, really. We might get 2 putts out of this.
Yeah, nice job to hit that small window there. Kind of an outside look, maybe a half bid. See what Beachy can do.
Just a bit short. That's a good run right there. He'll be able to just drop in his par, and here is Monn for his birdie. And Monn had a fantastic putting day yesterday, and he just continues it.
Dropping it in from deep early. You can see Jake loved it in the background. That was a great way to get his round going. Let's see if Young can match just a little bit closer. A lot of chains, but just a bit low left. Doesn't quite stick.
No harm, no foul. Got to make sure we're not taking bogeys.
Yeah, especially both of these kind of bonus birdies.
Yeah, this was one of the harder ones to birdie. Hole 3, par 4, 685 feet. Got to get yourself out this gap, get to this landing zone right about here, and then you're trying to throw a hyzer around these trees. No reason to challenge them through unless you have to. A lot of forehands out this left side. Oh, Ryan decides to go a flexor down the middle. I like it, to try and bite off a little bit more distance here.
Yeah, interesting. A bit of a lower ceiling he has to deal with going through the inside gap. Yeah, just a late release.
Yeah, knew it out of his hand too. It's pretty much the only one you're trying to miss.
Ooh, this is a hyper-aggressive line from Young.
Love it.
With the roller, bites off a ton of distance.
Yeah, I think
this
it lines
kid
up
mashes.
Perfectly. Yeah, for sure.
And it's nice to see the players get to, kind of air out some shots a little bit more. I feel like we've been in tight woods for the first 3 rounds of this tournament without really too many breaks. Getting a little bit more park style golf out here as we see a very well thrown shot from Beachy with that perfectly thrown little baby turnover distance line.
Patrick here getting over on one. Nice hyzer flip there. Getting the distance he needs out of it to make sure he can have just a little chip shot up and down for his par. And Ryan going boom, boom.
Yeah, still needs a pretty full flight on this after catching the low ceiling on his tee shot. Not a bad shot. He's going to be probably deep circle 2 from there. Didn't quite get the swing back at the end he needed.
Just made one from their last hole. Let's see what he can do. And Beachy here. Nice smooth hyzer into the pin.
Yeah, actually goes a little bit long. About 40 feet or so. Yeah, we're still not to Young's drive yet.
Unbelievable.
So Yu is just going to try to save his par. That is well executed. Leaves him about 25 feet. And yeah, here we are. Harrison Young. This drive has to be like he's just going smooth hyzer, probably putter into the green. I would think that was close to a 500-foot roller.
It might have been. He does come up a bit short on that one. See if he is still able to take advantage of that drive. But here is Ryan. I guess you can't make them all from 50, 60 feet, you know?
You can try. But yeah,
But
at least not this round for him.
Yeah.
So Young, yeah, like you said, definitely did come up short. He's out in shallow circle 2 and just a bit off again. He's been a couple inches away on every single putt so far.
Yeah, we saw that happen to one of our players yesterday. You just got to not let it get you down and keep striking at it. Beachy, the same thing here. So let's get these putts up, get him chain height, give him a chance to go in.
Good par save from you. Yeah, you can just see how much pain he is in.
Oh, I feel you, man. I know what I get it.
He's way too young to be having back problems.
I know.
Dan, we have excuses.
I know. You know what,
kids,
though? It all depends on who you talk to. I talked to a 28-year-old and they're like, yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense you have back problems. I talked to a 50-year-old. He's like, dude, you're too young. I'm like, I'm 30. What do you mean? But Patrick, make sure you heal up after this. You'll be all right. Hole 4, par 3, 410 feet. OB to the left, OB road behind the basket. Just airing one out here, trying to land it inside the circle. So pick what you want to do.
Ryan Monn still up first. Looks like a little bit of a slip or maybe just a misrelease off the tee.
Yeah.
Fades out early.
Not the worst result for, a slip. Easy pitch up into the green, maybe even a deep C2 run.
This is looking good.
Yeah, going with this low line, I like it to get the skip out of it.
But it just never came out.
Yeah.
Just a bit too straight of a disc, kind of same distance as Ryan, but on the opposite side of the hole. All right, Young going to go to the forehand. Let's see what kind of pop he's got on this thing.
Mm-hmm. This is looking good. Oh my goodness.
Gosh. I think
didn't
he's
know it
going
was
to make
that
that
good.
putt.
Yeah, I
One
believe
way,
so.
if you're missing all your 30 footers by a couple inches, just park it. That's the solution. That's the pro tip for you guys, you know.
Yeah. Just oh
This
man.
is looking nice from Beachy as well. Skips a bit long, but he is going to be inside the circle for his birdie as well. So these guys with some nice shots looking to get on the board. Another long one from Monn doesn't connect.
He's got good pace on it. He's not just rifle on pass, so his comebackers are not that long. And here is you. We saw him make a few of these yesterday. Let's see what he's got for us today. Just a bit low. And yeah, I don't know if he's disappointed back there or just in a lot of pain.
Yeah, maybe a little both, unfortunately. Yeah. Here's Beachy for his birdie. Sneaks it in over the cage to get himself on the board.
There you go. There's a good solid putt. Let's get his day rolling, get the putt flowing.
Yeah, if these guys are going to track down Ryan Monn with his current 9-stroke or 8-stroke lead, I should say, they're going to need to score really well. I don't foresee Ryan. He's too good to make some mistakes. The kid's not going to shoot like over par, I would think, any round down the stretch. So it's gonna take something special from our chasers to give him a run for his money.
Yeah, and we definitely have some players that have the skill to do it, but just got to try and get it done. And we are at hole 5. This is a par 3, 425 feet. There is OB all along the left side. This one, it takes a rip because it is somewhat of a tight line to get to the basket on this inside line.
Yeah, I'm surprised not to see a forehand or another roller from Young. He's just going hyzer flip up the gut.
You know, sometimes he does come up a little short there, but sometimes you practice and like the forehand just didn't work out or the roller just didn't work out, and for whatever reason the backhand did. So that's just what you go with. This looks smoked.
Yeah, great forehand from Beachy. Comes up maybe 30 or so short, but on a 425-foot low ceiling hole, that is going to work out just fine.
Yeah. We know Monn has a monster forehand. See what I did there?
Nice.
And thank you. And he does get over on it, and this is one of the mistakes you were kind of talking about.
That's on me. First announcer curse I've had in a while. Hard to do in post-produced coverage, but apparently still possible. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we've really seen a bogey out of Ryan since like round 1 coverage. The kid's just been on a heater.
Right. So yeah, a little chink in the armor. It's still so early, and he still has a lot of strokes, so he has some to give away. But these can compound if he continues to do so. But there is a good upshot by him to limit the damage. Here is you. Gets over on this one a little bit. That little patch is casual. No worries there.
Yeah, might just have some difficult footing. Young with another one of these circle 2 40-footers. Kind of gives it a floatier bid this time and unable to connect.
Yeah, he gave it chain height, gave it a chance. That's all you can really ask for from that sort of distance. So here is Beachy to get 2 strokes on Monn.
Just a bit low.
So Monn here actually leaving himself a little bit of a tester for his bogey. But not really.
Hard at it. Yeah, the putt has been very solid for him the past couple rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the difference in the round 1 coverage we saw. He was just, like you said, Dan, we've seen it from a lot of guys, just 2 inches high, 2 inches low.
Mm-hmm.
and just not quite connecting. Since then, no real mistakes. Patrick Yu, that is going to be a tough bogey to take for him after not scrambling. But I think if he can get through this round, that is going to be a win.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely weighs on you mentally as well when you feel that, you know, blast of pain after every shot, and then, you know, the disc isn't coming out like you're used to, and it just weighs on you. So a tough physical and mental battle Patrick has ahead of him for the next round, maybe two. But we are moving on to hole 6. This is a par 4, 525 feet. Trying to get as close to this bottleneck entryway as you can, and you're having to deal with a tight tunnel to the pin.
Yeah, if these guys want to, especially young, they could probably try to get aggressive and penetrate that gap. But if you're a bit off, that can get you into some trouble and make scrambling tough. So
Yeah, it's kind of like that risk reward scenario, right? You can lay up and be, 60, 70 away, having a longer throw, or you can try and pierce this gap. It's a pretty tight one.
yeah, Young looked like he went a little too far on that first shot. We'll see what his lie looks like. This is looking a little better out of the hand from Beachy. Oh no, also just a bit short for him.
See if Monn decides to go into the gap. We know he has the arm for it. Or if he will lay up. This is looking wider than the other two. And that's pretty perfect.
Yeah, great distance control on that one. It's the kind of hole you just, got to figure out in practice what that distance is, what the right speed disc to go, and stick with it. Nice looking shot from you as well. Checks up right behind Monn's drive. So both of those guys are just going to be looking at it, kind of an awkward angle into the green, but
Yeah, Yu is out in the open and he has to go to a knee straddled out to the right. Does get over on this one. That was kind of thrown into the dirt. Definitely not what he was looking for.
that is a good looking shot from Monn. Gets nice ground play as well on that hard packed dirt. Gonna bounce back very quickly from the bogey.
Yeah, and this is a good one to do it on. This is one of our harder holes out here today. So it feels good to be able to get this one. I like the idea of the roller. It just gets caught up on one of those bigger trees. Should still have somewhat of a look.
Yeah, and you can see just how important that tee shot was. If you're a little short or a little long, both of these guys ending up having to go with the flick roller, and doesn't work out for either of them. So a couple guys still going to be scrambling for par on the 6th. Yu is up first, going to a knee on in the other direction now, and just a bit of an early release.
Smooth forehand up to the green. Going to be able to save his par.
Yeah, these will most likely just be a couple of pitch ups here. Yu gonna do the same. We did see him. I think it was him. He threw one of those in the other day. So definitely don't want to give up on him. You never know what's going to happen. Actually, a long look for Beachy.
Yeah.
Gives it a decent run.
Yeah, good bid. Chain height. That's what we like to see. Be confident in these comebackers.
Yeah, and he does knock that comebacker down to save the par. Hole 6 did play as the 4th hardest hole on the course, kind of surprisingly, but not that surprising when you look at how tight that second shot is at a 4.27 average.
These guys are able to clean up their pars. So they still they get to air it out at this course, definitely more than what we've seen, but there are still some gaps to hit using that skill set. I like to see the combination used for one course.
Good job, buddy. Give me a high five.
I can't believe it.
You're up next.
Stay turning. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Ooh. Wow.
Alan inbounds.
That's exactly.
Unbelievable.
Hole 7, par 4, 670 feet. Trying to keep it straight off the tee, landing it somewhere in here. Got to be careful. It is all OB on this left side. Having to deal with these final 2 or 3 trees getting into this green.
Yeah, another kind of low ceiling shot off the tee here. Those trees kind of make that gap a bit harder to bite off a ton of distance. Nice hyzer flip there from Monn. Gets a little bit of ground play at the end, but that is a good result.
Yeah. I like the left side. It allows you to have more of a hyzer for your upshot. And Young just smashes. When he does catch a tree, but when he gets the opportunity, he's throwing hard.
Yeah, and it looks like it, like some guys have like smooth far form. You can tell he is throwing the disc with a lot of pace. He's looking to put a hurting on that thing every time it comes out of his hand. That one leaks out a bit left from Beachy, but is still a good shot. Inbounds. Might just have a bit of a slope on his run up to deal with.
You just pulling this a little bit. Another thing too, when you have a little bit of a back injury, sometimes you rely on other muscle groups to get the power in your shot. So it seems like you is doing that as well. It's throwing him a little off. But here is Young trying to smash it again. Does get over on it a little bit. Gets pinned high, just right side.
Yes, put a great move on that to even have a chance. After catching early on the drive. You definitely still in position, just a bit of a longer upshot. This is on a good line if it gets through at the end.
Just catches one of those last guardian trees. He will have a 45, 50-foot look for his bird. So Beachy here, living on the edge of that OB.
But is rewarded with this kind of nice forehand line into the green and skips up nicely right around circle's edge.
Monn, a little short, catches that 3-pronged tree as well. So kind of a bit of a putt off for some of those guys near the green. Young just having to lay up, nothing really he can do. Looks like he had that large tree in his way.
Yeah, you're going to be up first. See if he can get himself on the board, and just a bit low. Hasn't quite gotten that putt above the cage yet. It's been a common miss for him.
Monn is just a bit off, and Beachy with the opportunity to grab a stroke here.
Yeah, right just inside the circle for him. Spins it in. Nice birdie putt. Get himself to 2 under. Nobody really getting out to too hot of a start here on this course in round 4. Maybe kind of leaving a bit of an opportunity for some of the other folks in the top 10 to make some moves. We haven't mentioned it yet, but there will be a cut after this round before the semifinal round. Top 40% of the field will make it. So pretty much all of these guys are, unless something terrible happens, will make that cut.
no. Did you do it again? Okay. I'm just kidding.
That is a tough one. I think he's still in the cut line even with that short miss, but
He'll be fine.
Definitely not what Harrison Young was looking for on hole 7.
Maybe just taking, that little extra second to focus on every shot. We all have done it, though. This is hole 8, a par 4, 445 feet. OB close to the pin on the right side. You can see that road. So definitely got to smash one here. Playing the distance, but you can't get over on it too much.
Yeah, if there was ever a great opportunity for Harrison Young to bounce back, I think this is the perfect hole for him. But Beachy's up first, and he puts a great move on this one.
Oh, my gosh.
15 feet away on a par 4.
Unbelievable. Are we sure this is a par 4?
I think for these kids, we could definitely call this a par 3.
All right.
But, there are a bunch of different divisions playing this hole. So if we're talking about
That
the
is
FJ8 players, no shade on them. I think we're going to keep this a par 4,
All right, you talked me into it.
Nice shot from Monn. Good angle control.
Patrick does get over on this one a bit too much. He will have to have a little approach into the pin. All right, so Young to have a little bit of a bounce back here. Looking like he's going right side and just pure hyzer. Oh, catches a tree, does not get a full flight out of the disc. And he is left with over 150 feet to the pin.
I think with how far he throws, if he went turnover left side, he's going to go too far.
You might be right, yeah.
That's probably some of the logic with going with the hyzer, even though it's a bit of a more tight line. Just better distance control. Kind of worst case scenario, now he's pitching up for a nice easy birdie. Yu's looking to do the same, needs it to swing a bit, and it does at the end. So yes, for this division might be a bit of a soft par 4 as we see Ryan Monn make his eagle putt. This did play as the easiest hole on the course, not very surprisingly, with 20 eagles on the day in this division. But who doesn't love a short eagleable par 4? It's good for the ego.
Yeah.
I'm never going to complain about it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. Beachy able to knock down his eagle as well to keep pace with Monn for right now. And the rest of these guys have pretty much tap-ins for their birds. This did play pretty much a whole stroke under par. So if that says anything, but it's all good. We're going to move on to the final hole of this front 9, hole 9, par 3, 380 feet, dog leg to the left, OB to the left, and OB behind the basket as well on that path. So pretty much just a flip up hyzer or a flat shot that hyzer's out, skips left.
Yeah, you can't really go big spike hyzer with this low ceiling off the tee. So just kind of have to find that reliable, overstable disc to throw flat and let it finish. Coming out a little early for Beachy. Hopefully he stayed on the edge over there. Monn now, this looks like a little bit better width.
He didn't seem to like it out of his hand, but maybe it did just stay a little straighter than he wanted to. He will have a putt, though, for his bird.
Yeah, probably just outside the circle. From there, Yu able to get his first birdie of the day on the last hole, but this is just thrown a bit high, a bit nose up. Catches early.
Probably one of the tougher up shots he's had out here. He really only made it probably less than halfway down the fairway.
This looks like an early release from Young, but it does flip up and gets through. Wow.
Wow.
What a shot.
Oh my goodness.
I guess that's what you got to do if you want to park this one. Try and just barely beat that late corner and scoot up to the basket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that got like chain height. That had a chance. Does get a good skip. Will have a par putt. And here is Beachy for his bird.
Long look and a good effort. Just catches the cage.
Oh, he's been so close on a few of those so far.
Stepper for Monn. It does drop it in.
I mean, what do you do?
Took a couple holes to get going this round, but just like that, he's 4 down in his last 4 and is tied for the hot round on the card. Did we expect anything less?
Probably not.
Good par save for you. Keeping himself at 1 over for the front 9, like we said. Obviously not what he was looking for, but with the injury that he's dealing with, can't be too upset.
No, we got a couple of par putts coming up here. So this front 9 did play as the harder 9. So we are looking at having some hot scores on this back 9 as well. That's what these guys want to see.
Taking a look, we've got 2 guys at 4 under through 9 leading the way on this card. Harrison Young 2 under and Patrick Yu rounding out our top 4 at 1 over. But the rest of the field is looking to make some moves. We've got Noah Feel at 6 down, Judah Quistra at 9 under par. They are a couple holes ahead of our lead card, so we'll see if our leaders can catch them, at least for this round. We've got 9 more holes of round 4 before the cut at Junior Worlds. We'll see you there.